What's going on, people of the internet? My name is Kylie. Today is Monday, March 2nd, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I haven't actually spoke to you guys in front of a camera in so long, so it feels so weird. But anyway, today's video, I really wanted to discuss all of my systems and kind of rate them and rank them in the orders in which I enjoy them. So as you can see behind me, I have quite a few different systems. So I was an AeroGarden freak. I hoarded AeroGarden systems before they decided to go out of business, and I think they're back in business, but as of yet, I really haven't seen any new updates with them in their like Amazon shop or their website, so that's kind of confusing there. But before that happened, I did end up buying a bunch of different systems. So I've got an AeroGarden Bounty Elites. I've got 3 of them actually behind me, and then I also have 3 Bounty Elites. So, and then also I've got a Rain Point behind me. I also own a Let Pot and an In Bloom system. Now, mind you, my In Bloom system is now old, and I hear that there's better features on the newer ones. So just putting that out there, that one is not up to date. So it doesn't have the auto timer feature. I should start off with my least favorite to my favorite. So least favorite would definitely have to be my Harvest 2.0. And I'm not too sure what the order in which I bought my AeroGarden units in, but I want to say that was the first AeroGarden unit that I purchased. And it is the more basic units. I don't necessarily like this unit for the fact that it is much smaller. It is on an auto timer, which is great, but it's got a lot less features than the much more upgraded AeroGardens, like your Bounty Elites, your Harvest Elites. It has no LCD screen, so it's the basics. I would say that it's a great unit if you just want to grow herbs. You can't necessarily overcrowd that unit. Like I said, very small. It would definitely be, I would say that's more so a novelty item in my mind. And that's because I tend to gravitate more toward the systems that are larger now. The next one that I would say would have to be my Let Pot. The only reason why I'm adding the Let Pot as my second to least favorite, not because of the actual design of it all, as far as like functionality goes. The only reason why I'm adding that is because the actual unit is not a black unit, it's a white unit, which when you have white units, it's a lot easier to accumulate algae in your system because, you know, algae loves light. So that's the only reason why I'm adding that Let Pot. Other than that, I love my Let Pot. I think it's a great size. I love the color. It's a nice, like, sage green color. It's gorgeous. The only thing, and also the system's very user-friendly, easy to use. So you have to be diligent about cleaning it. That's the only thing. My third, well, I shouldn't be saying least, because I love all my systems. Like, all these systems are great, and I obviously wouldn't recommend them if I didn't have them. So the next one would be my In Bloom. And my In Bloom system is older, so it doesn't have like an auto timer incorporated in it. I hear that they do have auto timers incorporated in the newer ones. So what I do like about the In Bloom is the fact that it's got the measuring portion on the outside. So you can really see the water level very easily. Also, it does get quite high. I'm not too sure on the actual inches, but I want to say it's a little over 12 inches or 12 inches, give or take. I do like the fact that it's got, which I think all of these units pretty much have, varying features for herbs versus growing flowers. So there are different settings depending on what you're growing. I do love the In Bloom aesthetically. Like, I love the black on the wood. So, and then I also just love the branding. I love the branding with this company. So, obviously, all these things are going to be a personal choice. And, you know, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. So, the next system that I would say would be the Rain Point, which is actually behind me, and it houses my calendula flowers. So, the Rain Point is a great machine because I find that to be really easy to clean. I love the depth. Again, it's got that wood on black that I really enjoy, like aesthetically. I really do like that. And I think that was the first system that I actually bought. And so that's why I decided to go with the whole wood grain on black, because I was trying to go with the whole black thing because I had a black theme because I had bought the Aero Garden Harvest 2.0. And then I think right after the Rain Point, I bought the Ann Bloom. So I was trying to keep up with like a theme going with the black on the wood. I think that looks so sleek, so chic. And that's why I went with that one. And I think they all have the same amount of pod spacing. If you're looking at the In Bloom versus the Rain Point, the only main difference, the fact that one has legs and the other doesn't. So the Rain Point has legs, the In Bloom doesn't. So that's all based on personal choice, but they both pretty much operate all the same. So these are units. The units that I've mentioned already are units that you have to power on. Now, again, some of these newer units might have auto timers. So I've had these for a few years now. So I've been growing hydroponically. I want to say coming up on 2 years. I could be so wrong. But the next unit that I would recommend next on that list would be the Air Garden Harvest Elite. I decided to go with the higher quality option, which is the stainless steel. I love the color. Now, I do have the stainless steel color, and then also, I think it's in like a gray or a... I'm not too sure on what the other color is. That would be the one right here. But again, I'm not too sure what's going on with Aero Garden. I'm not too sure if you can even get your hands on any Aero Garden systems as of yet, because they really haven't had any updates or like new additions. They even took the farm unit off of their website, which is one that I really wanted to buy. But so the next one would be the Harvest Elite. The Harvest Elite is a great option because these units are now starting to introduce the LCD screen. The other previous units did not have a screen, so it's much easier to, set a clock. And then also it does keep pretty good track of it tells you when to add nutrients. I don't necessarily use that because I use different nutrients. I'm not using like the Aero Garden nutrients, so I'm on a different nutrient kind of schedule. But it's good. It's nice. It's a great reminder, and it is a great machine for people that don't necessarily want to have to constantly manually press the button. It is on an auto timer, which is fabulous. Now, the units itself don't get very tall, though. Like, that's the only thing about the Harvest Elites. I wouldn't really grow anything other than, say, like herbs in it. And I say that now because I'm like growing strawberries and then also chamomile and what else? Lemon balm. You can grow whatever you want in your machines. All I'm saying is that your allowance and the capacity that you're able to grow in these systems really depends on how much water capacity that they can hold. And as you can see, the Harvest Elite versus the Bounty Elite, that's a huge size difference. Now, I'm not too sure on capacity. I believe the Bounty Elites hold like 2 gallons. If I'm wrong, I will definitely add an annotation somewhere. I'm definitely going to link everything that I mentioned, by the way. So everything that I mentioned will be linked in my Amazon shop. Full disclosure, it is an affiliate link. I do get a percentage. It is really not that much. I really appreciate you if you do. But anyway, everything that I mentioned, everything that's on my channel, all of it's in my shop. So go to kyliegrows.com / links, and it will be somewhere either on the screen or below. Last but not least, the machine that I would buy over and over and over again if I could and if they were available would be the Bounty Elite. Oh, this machine is amazing. It also gets to a height of about, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, 27 inches, the light. So you're able to get a really good height, which means you can grow very tall plants, which is also a bonus, which is great. And you can, since it's got a lot of spacing, I believe it's got about 8 pods or 8 to 9 spaces for pods. If I'm wrong, I will add the corrected information on the screen, of course. But by far, the Harvest Elite, the Bounty Elite is my favorite unit for the auto timer. The menu portion is a lot more advanced. There's a vacation mode. There's just a lot more you can get into it. There's a dimmer portion of it. I'm trying to think of everything that I might be missing. They also provide you with like a trellis. So obviously for the larger units, you're going to get more. But again, I'm rating these and ranking these, not even knowing if you're still able to purchase these. But those are all my systems that I love. I do have a trellis unit, which that would probably be my that's in a whole nother category of its own because it's not necessarily a system. That is, yeah, that's definitely in another category of its own. And then also I have DWC buckets here as well. So, but as far as my systems go, though, that's how I would rank all my systems. But if you are curious about any of these brands, I would highly recommend any of these brands. Obviously, do your own research and find what works best for you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I didn't talk your head off. Hopefully you took something from this video, and I'll be seeing you until next time.